Hey Edge fans, I'm here with your head coach and GM Jeff Dunlap. We're in a great position to squeeze into the playoffs against Windsor, but now we're going to finish up at home. It's been a quick 20 games. First, your thoughts on that this evening?
I don't think anybody expected, and no one, I should say, knew what to expect from this season. It got off to such a late start and everything thrown together at the last minute. And to be a playoff team, first and foremost, is a tremendous honor, I think, for this program, this organization, these players, and what they've done. But also a credit to these fans and how they have just poured into this arena night after night, sellout crowds here and there that are just dazzling for this league to see. And what I think St. John's has done, the St. John's Edge have done for this league is remarkable.
You talk about St. John's and its tremendous fans. You know, we have our hometown boy, Mr. Carl English, and he's done great things on home court. He put up 58 points, as you know. Tell us a little bit what might be another milestone that he can achieve this evening.
Well, final game of the year, and for us old guys, we remember a huge NBA scoring race that came down to the last day of the season. It was between David Thompson and George Gervin back in the day. And I remember David Thompson put up so many points early in the afternoon, and that night George Gervin had to hit some crazy number of like 50 or 60 points in order to win it, and he did. And Carl English is in that same position tonight. And if he can come up with 30 points, he will lead the league in scoring. And I think for somebody who's 37 years old, first and foremost, I know that gets a lot of play, but it is remarkable that he can score against these young guys the way he does. But then with such efficiency and such a high shooting percentage and with how hard they defend him, I think it would be a great feather in his cap for him and the organization if he can come up with that 30 magic number tonight.
Carl's been clutch down the stretch. Speaking about down the stretch and more shifting gears of the playoffs, what do you expect Carl English and what do you expect Charles Hinkle and Des Lee to contribute in the playoffs against Windsor?
Windsor's a team we've played 8 times. We're 5-3, but we've had some really tough battles. A couple of those games could have gone one way or the other. I think we're very even with them. They've made some really good moves with their roster the last month of the season. Omar Strong in particular is somebody who's a really effective guard for them. And so they pose a lot of problems, matchup problems for us. They play a small ball lineup. They're very quick on the perimeter. They shoot threes. I think for Desmond Lee in particular, you mentioned him, he's got to be a lockdown defender for us. I got to be able to put him on somebody and let him shut them down, and he's capable of that. Xavier Ford's another lockdown defender kind of guy who I think is going to get a lot of play in that series. Hinkle had 53 points in one game against him. If he could replicate that sure would be nice. But he is somebody who's presented a lot of problems for them. So I need him to be on his best game. And we're going to rest him tonight. He leads us in minutes played this season, and I think for that he's earned a night off and give him that extra day going into the weekend.
Perfect. That's great to hear. Edge fans, there's still tickets available at the box office for this evening to come and see that scoring race.
That's right.
We're excited to have you. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and even more excited to get started Friday night against Windsor. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.